An intriguing book cover greets our eyes, a simple yet profound red circle on a white background. The title, The One Thing, boldly stands out, written by Gary Keller. As we take in the stark contrast of the red circle against the white background, we can't help but feel the pull of this unique design. It's minimalistic, yet it shouts a message that is loud and clear. Something significant lies within these pages. The simplicity of the design serves to amplify the boldness of the title. The One Thing. It's an invitation, a challenge, a promise. It's a call to focus, to prioritize, to find that one thing that can make a world of difference. Next, our eyes are drawn to the author's name, Gary Keller. For those of us familiar with his work, we know we're in for a treat. Keller's reputation precedes him as a man of insight, a thought leader in his field. For those of us yet to discover him, the anticipation builds. What wisdom will we find in his words? And then we see the author's photo. Keller's gaze is thoughtful, almost introspective, as if he's inviting us into his world of ideas. His expression suggests a depth of knowledge and experience, a sense of understanding that comes only with time and practice. It's as if he's saying, I've walked this path, I've learned these lessons, and now I'm here to share them with you. Our first impressions, then, are of intrigue and anticipation. We're drawn in by the simplicity and boldness of the cover, intrigued by the title, and captivated by the author's thoughtful gaze. We sense that this is not just a book, but a journey into the heart of what matters most, into the essence of success. The author's thoughtful gaze in the photo suggests a depth of knowledge waiting to be unveiled. So, shall we dive in? The book opens with a compelling question. What's the one thing you can do such that by doing it, everything else will be easier or unnecessary? This question sets the premise for the entire book and invites us to explore the power of focusing on the one thing that matters most. In the first chapter, aptly titled The One Thing, Gary Keller presents a powerful argument against the modern-day hustle culture that glorifies multitasking. He dispels the myth that juggling multiple tasks simultaneously leads to productivity. Instead, he emphasizes the importance of focusing on the one thing that truly matters and can make a significant impact. This concept of the one thing is the cornerstone of the book and is recurrently visited in the subsequent chapters. The second chapter, The Domino Effect, introduces us to the idea that success is sequential, not simultaneous. Keller draws inspiration from the domino effect, where a single domino can set off a chain reaction, causing a much larger impact than the initial push. He analogizes this phenomenon to our actions and goals, suggesting that focusing on one significant task can knock down many other related tasks, creating a ripple effect of accomplishments. In the third chapter, Success Leaves Clues, Keller encourages readers to look for patterns and learn from others who have achieved extraordinary results. He argues that success isn't accidental, but the outcome of deliberate actions and choices. By observing successful people and understanding their strategies, we can derive our own one thing and streamline our efforts towards achieving it. The fourth chapter, Think Big, urges us to step out of our comfort zones and set grand visions for ourselves. Keller believes that thinking big allows us to tap into our full potential and achieve extraordinary results. He insists that the size of our thinking determines the size of our achievement. So, by limiting our thoughts, we inadvertently limit our accomplishments. Chapter 5, Be Picky, is a call to action for readers to be selective and prioritize tasks that align with their one thing. Keller stresses that not all tasks are created equal. Some tasks have more impact than others. Therefore, we should be picky about what we choose to focus on and invest our time and energy in tasks that yield maximum results. In the sixth chapter, Plateau of Latent Potential, Keller introduces the concept of the compound effect. He explains that consistent efforts over time lead to exponential results, much like a domino effect. However, these results might not be immediate. There's a plateau of latent potential where results aren't visible, but consistent effort is still accumulating and will eventually lead to a breakthrough. The 7th chapter, The Journey Matters, is a reminder to enjoy the process and not just focus on the end goal. Keller believes that the journey towards achieving our one thing is as important as the achievement itself. He encourages us to embrace the journey with its ups and downs as it shapes us and helps us grow. In the 8th chapter, Live by Priority, Keller emphasizes the importance of living life by priority, not by the clock. He suggests that aligning our actions with our priorities ensures that our time and energy are invested in the right areas. This alignment enables us to make significant progress towards our one thing. The 9th chapter, Stay on Track, is a call to maintain focus and stay committed to our one thing. Keller believes that consistency is key to achieving extraordinary results. He encourages us to stay on track despite distractions and setbacks, as they are just temporary hurdles on the road to success, and that's just the start. The book promises more insights as we delve deeper. The remaining chapters continue to build on these concepts, providing actionable strategies to incorporate the one thing philosophy into our daily lives. So, buckle up as we continue this journey of exploration and discovery in the following chapters. As we journey further into the book, we encounter concepts like the focusing question, the success habit, and the path to great answers. Chapter 6 introduces us to the idea of the focusing question. This question is designed to narrow our attention to what is truly important. It asks, what's the one thing I can do such that by doing it, everything else will be easier or unnecessary? It's a question that prompts us to think big, but also act small, to dream about the future but focus on the present. It's a question that brings clarity to our priorities and helps us to identify the actions that will bring us closer to our goals. In Chapter 7, we learn about the success habit. Here, Keller explains that the habit of asking the focusing question is a key to achieving success. This habit forces us to consistently think about our one thing and prioritize it above all else. It's a habit that keeps us on track, prevents distractions, and propels us towards our goals. Chapter 8, titled A Balanced Life, challenges the conventional wisdom of maintaining balance in all areas of life. Instead, Keller proposes that we should live a life that is counterbalanced. This means investing more time and energy into our one thing, and then counterbalancing by giving attention to other areas of life when required. This approach allows us to maintain a sense of balance without diluting our focus on the one thing. In Chapter 9, we discover the 4 thieves of productivity. These thieves, according to Keller, are the inability to say no, fear of chaos, poor health habits, and an environment that doesn't support your goals. Recognizing these thieves and learning how to combat them is essential for maintaining productivity and focus on your one thing. A Big is Bad is the title of Chapter 10. Here, Keller dispels the myth that big equals bad. Instead, he encourages us to think big and set audacious goals. Big goals, Keller argues, push us to discover our full potential and achieve greater success. They force us to grow and stretch beyond our comfort zones. Chapter 11 delves into the 3 commitments. These are the commitments to following the path to mastery, moving from E to P, and living the accountability cycle. Following the path to mastery involves dedicacy and discipline to become exceptional at your one thing. Moving from E to P refers to transitioning from being entrepreneurial to being purposeful in your efforts. Living the accountability cycle means taking responsibility for your outcomes and learning from your failures. In Chapter 12, we learn about the one thing that stands between you and your one thing. This is the concept of time blocking. Keller argues that to be effective, we must block out large chunks of time to focus on our one thing. This practice protects our focus and ensures we dedicate the necessary time to the tasks that matter most. Chapter 13, Protect Your Time Block at All Costs, emphasizes the importance of defending your time block from distractions and interruptions. This requires discipline and a commitment to prioritizing your one thing above all else. Chapter 14, The 3 Productivity Actions, outlines the steps to take to maximize productivity. These steps are Build a bunker, store provisions, and sweep for mines. Building a bunker means creating a dedicated space for work. Storing provisions involves preparing everything you need before your time block begins. Sweeping for mines refers to anticipating and eliminating potential distractions. Finally, in Chapter 15, The 4 Tiers of Success, Keller presents a framework for achieving extraordinary results. The 4 tiers are think big, act big, win big, and give big. By following this framework, Keller suggests that we can transform our dreams into reality. The book is indeed a treasure trove of insights. But what impact does it have on the reader? I remember when I first read The One Thing. It was like a light bulb turned on in my head. This book wasn't just a collection of pages bound together. It was a profound revelation, a shift in perspective that I hadn't anticipated. You see, The One Thing isn't just a book. It's an invitation to a whole new way of thinking. It's an anthem for focus, a manifesto for prioritization, and a blueprint for productivity. And for me, it was a lifeline, a beacon of sense in a world that often feels overwhelmingly chaotic. Before The One Thing, my life was a whirlwind of tasks and obligations, a never-ending to-do list that left me feeling perpetually behind. I was constantly juggling, trying to keep all the balls in the air, but I was so spread thin that I felt like I wasn't truly excelling at anything. I was just surviving, not thriving. But then, The One Thing came along, and it was like I'd been handed a compass in the middle of a storm. Suddenly, I had a guide, a way to navigate through the chaos and find my true north. The message was simple yet profound. Focus on the one thing that matters most. Not the 10 things, not the 100 things, but the one thing that really, truly matters. And so, I started applying the one thing principle in my daily routine. I began each day by asking myself, what's the one thing I can do today that will make everything else easier or unnecessary? This question became my guiding light, steering me towards my most important tasks and helping me to prioritize effectively. The impact was immediate and profound. I found myself accomplishing more, feeling less stressed, and gaining a sense of control over my life that I'd never experienced before. I was no longer just keeping up, I was getting ahead. I was making meaningful progress towards my goals, and the sense of achievement was exhilarating. And the benefits weren't just professional, they were personal too. By focusing on the one thing in each area of my life, I found myself becoming a better friend, a better family member, a better citizen. I was more present, more engaged, more fulfilled. But here's the thing. The power of the one thing isn't exclusive to me. It's not a secret formula that only works for a select few. No, it's a universal principle, a fundamental truth that can transform lives and unleash potential. Imagine if we all focused on our one thing. What if we all harnessed the power of focus and prioritization? What if we all committed to making meaningful progress towards our most important goals? The potential impact is mind-boggling. And so I dare to speculate on the potential impact on you, dear listener. What if the one thing could transform your life, just as it transformed mine? What if it could help you achieve your dreams, fulfill your potential, and live your best life? The possibilities are endless, and the potential is limitless. So, I encourage you to embrace the one thing. Dive into its pages, soak up its wisdom, and apply its principles to your life. It won't always be easy. Change never is. But I promise you, it will be worth it. Because the one thing isn't just a book, it's a philosophy, a way of life. It's a call to action, a challenge to rise above the chaos and focus on what truly matters. And when we do that, when we focus on our one thing, we unlock a world of potential. The transformation is real, and it could be for you too. The one thing is more than just a book. It's a guide, a mentor that encourages you to focus and achieve your goals. It's a compass that points you in the direction of your dreams, a beacon that lights up your path to success. We've explored the chapters, delved into the concepts, and examined the impact of this transformative work by Gary Keller. But at its core, the one thing is a call to action. It's a plea to simplify, to cut through the noise and clutter of our busy lives and focus on that singular, pivotal task that can propel us towards our goals. The book reiterates one simple but profound truth. Success isn't about doing everything right. It's about doing the right thing. It's about finding that one thing that matters most and giving it all your attention, all your energy. It's about understanding that our time, our energy, our focus, they're all limited. And so it becomes imperative to channel these finite resources towards the tasks that truly matter, the tasks that move the needle. The one thing goes beyond just being a productivity manual. It's a life manual. It teaches us to prioritize, to say no to the good so we can say yes to the great. It shows us the power of focusing on one thing at a time, the magic that happens when we direct all our energies towards a single significant goal. It's not about juggling multiple balls at once. It's about picking the one ball that matters most and making sure it never drops. It's about understanding that the path to success is a marathon, not a sprint. It's about recognizing that success isn't a destination, it's a journey. And the secret to embarking on this journey is finding and focusing on your one thing. So if you find yourself overwhelmed by the demands of life, if you find yourself lost in the maze of tasks and to-dos, pick up a copy of The One Thing. Read it, absorb it, apply it. Let its lessons guide you towards your goals. Let it help you cut through the clutter and focus on what truly matters. In the end, The One Thing is more than just a book. It's a philosophy, a way of life. It's a tool that can help you transform your life, one focused action at a time. It's a reminder that success isn't about doing more. It's about doing what matters most. Remember, success is about doing the right thing, not about doing everything right. Keep this in mind and you'll find your one thing.